people are waking up to the lies of the radical left. Listen, I think we have a lot of work ahead of us because we don't have the benefit of $1 trillion mainstream media complex that's functioning as the marketing arm of the radical left. That's, Joe Biden has that. I think they have, a multi-trillion dollar enterprise in big tech functioning to boost the radical left while hurting anyone with conservative values or principles. Same with big social. But at the same time, I think the Biden presidency, not just his actions, when he gets lost on a stage or can't walk up a flight of stairs, can't remember where he is or remember what he's talking about or who he's introducing. It's not that. It's the policies that have destroyed our economy, rising inflation. They can get on stage and lie. Joe Biden's created more jobs than any president ever in the history of the world times a billion. No. Like letting people go back to work after you shut down the country, that's not job creation.
Since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? Mr. President-elect.
Go ahead.
Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance?
Your organization
You are attacking our news organization. Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir?
Go ahead.
Sir, can you state, Mr. President-elect,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically,
she's asking a question. Don't
Mr.
be
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
You're attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
No, I'm not going to give you a question.
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President-elect, that's not appropriate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast, where we talk about people, politics, and popular culture. I'm your host, the one and only Austin Creed. I always love that clip of Trump, by the way, the call out to CNN and to mainly Jim Acosta. My friends, today we're talking about the mainstream media. I don't even like using that term, frankly. I think that it's kind of overused and it's been in the mainstream for too long. But we'll use it anyway because otherwise people will forget what we're talking about. My friends, where do you get your news from? That's my first question today. Where do you get your news from? I try to keep my palate as balanced as humanly possible because it's really easy to just say, oh, I like listening to X commentator, or oh, I only like looking at Fox News or MSNBC or whatever it is you do. It's really easy to just find one source and then just move on and really not care about getting that balanced perspective. Now, the reason I'm titling the show The Mainstream Media as a Menace is because they are. I mean, when was the last time you actually saw something in the media, whether it's from CNN, MSNBC, even from Fox News and whatnot? When was the last time you actually saw something that wasn't, if it's from CNN, it wasn't anti-Trump, anti-church, anti-family, anti-straight people? When's the last time you saw something like that? Or you could tailor that to MSNBC or CNN, like NBC, whatever. You could tile it all the way down the line because it's the fact. I literally, before the show today, I went on my phone and I said, what's going on in the news? I actually have not been checking the news recently. It's depressing. All I see is stuff about the Ukraine war, who got knocked off that day, or what Trump did. Did he fart in the middle of the night? Can you believe this? I saw a story by Vanity Fair talking about how Trump did this, that, and the other in the bathroom. I don't care about that. Do you care about that? Who in their right mind gives a single shred of a dang about Trump in the bathroom? Like, what is the world coming to? There's nothing else worth covering. There are certain media outlets, mainly CNN, they wouldn't survive a week if they didn't talk about Trump. If they didn't mention Trump or what he's doing for an entire week, they'd go out of business. They would go out of business. They need him. Which is part of the reason why he knows that, in his opinion, they're fake news. And I know he's not alone with that. But my friends, what are your thoughts on the media today? I can tell you what I think. I think the media has really lost their way. The media, I actually learned about this in college. The media was meant, do you know what news stands for? It's an acronym, by the way. It stands for North, East, West, and South. It's supposed to be they were the explorers of the world, and they would bring you back the information. Obviously, they can't tell you everything in every neighborhood and everywhere in America or around the world, but they would bring up stories that they thought were relevant. Not just tabloid level stuff that you'd see in the tabloids in your father's generation, now make the front page of the newspaper, the front page at CNN, or the front page at Fox News. And it's disgusting. I don't care about what some know-nothing, brain-dead actor or actress did. I don't care about what Trump did in his bathroom. I don't care about any of that stuff. I care about what's going on in world politics. I care about what's going on in India, Russia, China. Where's all those discussions? The only thing you ever hear about Russia is that they're all evil. Well, they can't all be evil. They're human beings just like you, just like me. They can't all be evil, and yet that's what they'd have you believe. You look over at China. When's the last time you heard anything about China or condemning the communist regime in China? Answer, never. Why? Because guess what? Interlocking board directorships. Yes, you heard me right. You ever notice why you don't talk about the downside of certain drugs? Or maybe you hear about a story on page A79 in the newspaper or something where it could have easily made the front page. You see, real liberals, not the communist progressive left of today, there was a time in America when the liberals, the actual people who loved liberty, not just loved to steal every aspect of your liberty, there was a time in America when they would warn people about the interlocking board of directorships. In other words, there would be a gentleman who would be on the board of a news company, right? But then he put on his little pharmacy hat and he'd walk or a stethoscope and go over to the big pharma board he sits on, of the pharmaceutical company. And then he'd go over and he'd move to maybe a restaurant chain that he owns. Or maybe he'd then go over to the big tech corporation that controls social media, and he's on that board. You notice how that might be, a little bit bad? No, I know you're probably saying, Austin, who cares? Maybe he's just successful and he's doing great. Well, I'm not saying he's not successful. What I'm saying is when you have the same people on the board at Fox or CNN as there are at big drug companies, Facebook, Apple, Google, you don't think that maybe if a drug is being developed here that's no good and dangerous, that maybe it's not going to come up with the first thing you research on Google if he's on the board of both companies? You really don't think that might happen? You don't think that maybe if there's a drug, say during COVID, for example, do you really think that the people who were developing the drugs of the vaccine wanted you to go to CNN or MSNBC or Fox News and learn about how dangerous it could potentially be? No. Why do you think they didn't do that? Well, on top of the pressure from the White House, there was also the profit motive. There was the same people were on the same board at both companies. There's only so many people at the top. There's only so many hyper-successful people that everybody wants on their board of directors. So guess what? They have to interlock a little bit. So then when you have this massive conglomerate, or when you have these companies that are supposed to be unbiased as possible, have these same board members of the competing company that they're supposed to be reporting on, do you think they're going to go hard and be like, yeah, man, let's nail him. We got him. No, of course they're not going to do that. Because their boss is the boss of both companies. That makes sense? That's where it all comes down to. Money. It's always follow the money, people. That's why the mainstream media is really failing. Is on top of the fact that, look, I get about wanting to make money. I understand about that. But when you look at the board of directors, when you look at the fact that money at the top, there's not that many people at the top, you realize that they all are kind of playing the same team, and you're playing three-card Monty and wonder why you're being screwed over. There's no incentivizing transparency. There's no incentivizing actual journalism when you could just give people what they want, which is garbage, because most people are stupid. Not my audience. My audience is smart, but most people are stupid. Most people, care more about what Donald Trump did in the bathroom than what Putin's doing or what President Xi in China is doing for world policy. Okay, if you can believe it. That's what people care about. They don't care about the movement of troops. Wait, who was it? I think it was Cicero. I think it was the ancient philosopher Cicero. I think it was him. Someone feel free to check me if I'm wrong. But there was a Roman philosopher who talked about how the average Roman, they didn't care where the legions were going and who they were conquering. They didn't care what Caesar was doing. They didn't care about what the Senate was doing. They cared about the pebble in their shoe and the price of bread. Has anything really changed? I don't think so. I think most people care about how much eggs cost, how much milk costs, how much their gas costs, and they don't care if the politicians are siphoning money. They don't care if the government's corrupt. They don't care about what is happening in China or Russia or Canada or anywhere else. They don't care about it. Because they care more about themselves, which they should, and about their lives, which is obvious. And very human, by the way. Very human of them. But my friends, the media is a menace because there's so much money everywhere to be found. And you have to look to guys like me who don't have corporate bosses looking over my shoulder or editing my tapes. You have to look at guys like me who don't have someone looking over their shoulder saying, ooh, you can't say that. No, we're going to clip that out. We don't like that. How dare you expose us? How dare you keep us accountable? We don't like that. That's what controlled opposition is, my friends. A lot of your favorite commentators, whether they be podcasters on talk radio or on TV, a lot of them are just controlled opposition. They give you just enough to keep you listening, but they're actually promising you the moon while delivering nothing. They don't actually do much besides just repeat and parrot the same talking points of everyone else. I don't do that. I don't see a need to do it. I'm actually a creative thinker. I don't need other people to tell me what to do or what to think or what to say. I come up with my own topics. I don't even have a script. You want to see my screen? I don't even have a script. Look. I don't even have a script. Just me on my soundboard, looking at the recording. I have nothing here but me. I'm a one-man show. My friends, we need more authenticity in the media. Stop consuming the garbage. Stop accepting the sewage from Hollywood, from the news media. Stop accepting it. You deserve better. You should want better. Not just getting the same vanilla wafer garbage that's not actually giving you anything but making you hungrier. Remember when you were a kid and your mother said, don't eat those sweets, it's going to make you even more hungry? And it's going to spoil your dinner when it actually comes around? Yeah, that's what the modern media has done to you and to your brain. They leave you wanting more when they told you nothing, and then when it's time to actually learn something of substance, you don't care about it. You're like, oh, I'm tired, I don't care. Leave me alone, I don't care. That's what we've come to. We need to do better. We're supposed to be educated, not indoctrinated. My friends, the media is a menace, and it's time you started being smarter about what you're consuming, because it's affecting you every day of your life and the philosophy with which you live by. My friends, guard your brain. Do not let them wash it for you. Don't let anybody wash it for you. Think for yourself. A free thinker is the most dangerous character to any society on earth. Be smart. Do not wait for someone to tell you what to think or how to think it. Come up with your own ideas. You're smarter than you think you are. Don't let the media tell you what to think, what to say, what to do, how you should feel. Don't let them do that to you. We're Americans. We're supposed to be free. You're free to equally fail and to succeed. I want you to succeed, not fail. My friends, I think I made my point. I think I did. I feel like at this point I'm almost beating a dead horse and I don't want to do that. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, or you can go over to my Twitter page at Sheep Get Sheared. Go over there. Follow me if you want. answer any of the questions that I pose. My friends, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. We're out of here. Peace.